Next speaker is Kevin Mathers. Good morning, Kevin. Thank you for coming in. You have 3 minutes to speak. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kevin Mathers. I'm a licensed professional engineer with more than 20 years of service in the Department of Public Works. Many of my colleagues are afraid to speak up because they fear retaliation. At this point, things cannot get much worse for us, so here I am. I grew up in Miller Place and graduated in 2000, around the time when many graduates began leaving Long Island, sorry, it's a little nerve-wracking, due to affordability concerns. I considered moving to North Carolina myself, but I stayed because of my family. I love them deeply, but I would be lying if I said I haven't questioned that decision. For the past 12 years, the financial pressure has been overwhelming. It has taken a toll on my health and my ability to provide for my daughter. I am a full-time single father to an incredible 18-year-old daughter who plans to attend college next fall to pursue her dream of becoming a pediatrician. She intends to study in South Carolina, and with my full support, she has no plans to return to Long Island. As much as I will miss her, I know that leaving is what's best for her future. In 2015, I purchased a modest foreclosure. Even with a professional license and 2 decades of experience, I'm struggling every day just to keep up. My cost of living has far outpaced my salary. I live frugally, I clip coupons, I limit eating out, I maintain a resourceful social life. Is this really the standard we want, where a licensed engineer with 20 years of service is fighting simply to survive in a foreclosure home? That is my story, but how does this salary crisis affect all of you? We cannot maintain staff. A recent New York State DOT posting in Suffolk County advertised a starting salary of $95,220 for a college graduate with a fundamentals of engineering certificate. In our department, that same individual would start as a junior civil engineer trainee at grade 19, starting $51,260. Yes, $96,000 versus $51,000. You heard that right. When we do manage to hire someone in step to try to make up for the discrepancy, we train them for a year and then they leave for higher pay elsewhere. How are we expected to deliver projects maintaining our infrastructure with a shrinking underpaid workforce? I trust you are aware that we sit nearly a year and a half out of contract, off of 2 deplorable contracts. I understand that you do not negotiate our contracts directly, but you do have influence. I am asking you at this time to please use your influence. If you expect services from AME members, then you must advocate for AME members. We all remember when the previous county administration cited a $500 million deficit and placed that burden on AME employees. Since 2013, inflation has risen 32.6%. During that same period, PBA has received 35.92% of cost of living. AME has received 17%. That's barely half over inflation. To simply catch up, AME would need to increase 5.8% every year for the next 5 years. And now with the county finances strengthened in the years following COVID, it is time to make AME members whole. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kevin. If you could just hang with us for a second.
Sure.
Presiding officer has a question.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Hi, Kevin. How are you? Thanks for sharing your story with us. I appreciate it. And I just, it's really more of a comment than a question. I've been here for a while as a legislative aide, now as a legislator, and followed the county government for a long time. And I know retaliation was a method that was used in the past, but with the new administration and this majority in this legislature, I don't want you to ever feel that, or any employees in this county, that you cannot speak out. It's a fundamental right that all of you have, not only as employees, but as an American, to bring your grievances to this legislature, and you should not fear retaliation because there won't be any. It's important that you all know that.
Thank you.
And I know working with Legislator Mazzarella, the chair of this committee, and all of our colleagues here, we advocate on behalf of the workforce every single day to make sure that you get a fair contract so that you can live the life that you expect to live with the degree that you have. So just know that we're here to advocate for you, and we will do everything that we can. Obviously, you know that we don't negotiate your contract, but we are advocates for the workforce. So thank you for sharing your story today. I appreciate you coming in. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding Officer. Is there anyone else? Minority Leader?
Thank you, and thank you for sharing your story and your experience. And so you work in DPW?
Yes, correct.
And what engineering degree do you have? Not engineering. What class are you in your department?
Associate civil engineer.
Civil engineer.
Yep.
And how, you've been working for the county for 20 years?
Yep.
And so how many folks do you know who have started with you in your department over your career have not continued?
In the last few years, I can think of 7 that left.
Okay. And did they all do lateral moves? Did they do upward moves? They go into private industry? You don't have to mention their names, obviously.
Sure. One off the top of my head was private. One off the top of my head was to a town. It's been a mixture of private and other municipalities.
And obviously you work really hard to get your degree. You want to stay here and give back to your community. What do you think is the most important thing that we can remember in keeping, in trying to keep you here, number one, and keep your daughter here?
So I kind of say, my director, when I started, I felt that he had fair compensation to his cost of living. And I don't want to come across like greedy, but it's just gotten out of whack. My cost of living has just far exceeded my salary. It's just not there. I mean, that's where my answer is.
So you'd like to see a return to balance?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So I completely understand, and I'll just say from a person whose parents both were civil servants, and come from, my grandparents were in the labor movement as well. I understand the importance of that.
Thank you.
Right. So I'll just, not necessarily for the whole legislature, but since you're all here, in the 90s when there was a furlough, we almost lost our house.
Sure.
Right. So I get it. And so I understand what you're going through, and we will be fighting for you in a bipartisan fashion to ensure that your voice is being heard.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Richburg. Legislator Flotteren.
I just want to say I appreciated, or you were a good spokesman for the other people of AME. And to me, the number of you pointing out the inflation difference and maybe engineering background, getting very exact like that, it really got the message across to me. The disparity, again, it was something you said 17.5 you had increase, and it was 34% is what real inflation is.
Sorry, 17%, not 17.5.
Okay. I appreciate that comeback. So, I thank you. It really got a point through in my head. So
Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Flotteren. Kevin, let me just ask you, as far as professionals over in a DPW such as yourself, what do you know about open positions there that are not filled right now, and obviously attributed to a salary issue? But are there a lot of professional positions that are not filled?
Yeah, there's a significant amount of junior positions that we have not been able to fill.
Thank you for that. If there's no one else, again, we appreciate you coming in, and I'll echo what the presiding officer said. We make sure that employees will not and should not feel intimidated or any fear to come into this auditorium and speak their mind to the legislature. And you're not the only one that's come forward. They have been coming in pretty much all year. And, we welcome that. We need to hear it. And it needs to be put on the record like you are putting it on the record today. So thank you for coming in.